Where do we go from where Wole Soyinka once lamented? I have been talking to the ideas on how to get to where we need to be in 21st century, where education is fast changing the dynamics of development. The policy experts, leaders are again suggesting policies that will take us to where we can internationalize higher education again. That was the theme of my convocation lecture at the Adekunle Ajasin University, Ondo State, in December 2023. But from the way we look of lamentation about funding of higher education at this time of economic crisis, where we will get the answer is still blowing. I had asked a similar question at the Akungba 2023 lecture, but we continue to blow in the wind. Again, this paper, as I said, as we are winding down, this paper is not a seminar paper on the role of university in a developing country, nor is it a research topic on the role of public intellectuals in development. Rather, it's a thought-provoking discussion point on why all our representatives in government, all our duty bearers should halt the hollow rituals called licensing of new private universities and the federal university's own obsession with political projects called federal universities in all the states of the federation. This is a time to tell them to pay attention to better, listen to this, attention to pay attention to better rather than more universities. Better rather than more universities. Whose products cannot, that is more universities, whose products cannot contribute to national development. No thanks to poor funding. It's a time to call on the elders of the land, notably those that had enjoyed the good old days in this same country, when universities were universities, to support a motion that government at all levels used. American in Miami, Florida, who claimed to be a classmate of now Professor Gordini. I met her. Immediately I was introduced to her as a journalist from Nigeria. I went for an international conference. He said, from Nigeria? I said, do you know Gordini Dara? I said, yes, he was at the time chairman of our editorial board. He said he was my classmate at the University of Ibadan, where I had come all the way in those days from the United States to read English. A woman, she was at that time president of a university in Miami, Florida. She came all the way to read English from a not from UK, not in UK, not in the United States there, not in Canada, not in New Zealand, among other English-speaking countries. So what are we talking about? So she gave me a note to give to Professor Gigi Dara, who many of us know, because Professor Gigi Dara, her classmate at the University of Ibadan. So I said that Nigeria's premier university college, when an American could hear about a great university without the internet. There were stories of foreign students in the universities of this generation when there was indeed a universe in the universities. Now, most of which are just for ways of laundering money. Crooks who can no longer hide such slush and stolen funds abroad because of the danger in illicit money transfer that we have in Nigeria now, like a financial intelligence unit. They monitor people, so everywhere now, we'll obtain license, you get something. But sadly, most of the lecturers of the universities cannot allow their children to be admitted into most of those universities where they teach. I know many of them who will still have to struggle through thick and thin to send their words abroad, and to some good ones at the national level where real learning takes place. Oh, somebody may want to tell me here that, but some private universities are getting rating. It is not about rating. It is about quality. Quality is quality. Quality is quality. We are not saying that some private universities are not doing well. They are doing well. But most of them, as we have found out, are not doing well. And what we are saying is not to berate and to denigrate those institutions and people who teach there, just like that. We are talking about our country. We are talking about the future of our country. That's why we are telling the authorities that they should not be using such ratings. Sometimes when Fitch rating, they say they have rated the inflation rate has come down. This one has come down, but when you look at circumstances around you, you haven't seen any change. So I think that let us reflect on this classic, and our leaders should take this one home. According to Gasset in 2005 on the mission of the university, why university must be primarily the university, profession and science. This is important for our leaders, policymakers, and university owners. The university consists primarily and basically of higher education which the ordinary man should receive. It is necessary to make this ordinary man, first of all, a cultured person, to put him at the house. It follows then that the primary function of the university is to teach the great cultural discipline, namely the physical scheme of the world, which is physics, the fundamental themes of organic life, which is biology, the historical process of the human species, history, the structure and functioning of social life, sociology, the plan of the universe, philosophy. So it is necessary to make the ordinary man a good professional. Besides his apprenticeship to culture, the university will teach him by the most economical, direct, and efficacious procedures intellect can survive to be a good doctor, a good judge, a good teacher of mathematics or of history. So what we are saying from this framework of theory is that our people should not just be looking at the certificates we give to people. The certificates is supposed to produce a total human being. It's supposed to produce somebody who can stand on his own. We are beginning to see from our NYSC registration camps that some people who have degree certificates cannot register successfully in our country, and we are just turning them out, we're giving out certificates. This is horrible about the most populous black nation on earth. We should be the most populous, and we are the most populous, and people should be visiting our universities for culture and learning. That's what we mean. It is necessary, and the specific character of this professional teaching must be set aside. However, for further discussion, whether is it local or glocal, local or glocal, glo and local, glocal. The university should be equipped enough to play its primary role of turning the ordinary man to be what he wants to be, professional. But can the university play this role today in this age of digital technologies? We can't. Of Google has since 2018 been in Ghana. I have explained that, and I have to get out of it. I say, where will develop universities aren't producing young engineers that are helping the Trump administration? Like those ones helping, you may see in the social media, people are berating this ex-man. People, Elon Musk. But just read the details. The young ones helping him to mine data on the bureaucracy. Most of them are under 20 and a little above 20, but they are wizards. They are uncovering large-scale corruption in the bureaucracy. Tendencies, some ideologues and some people who have certain ideologies. We're going to say that Trump is a way. If you watch the global networks, you will never find credit to whatever is good that they are doing. They say, look, I want to put America first. Let us find somebody who wants to put Nigeria first by investing in quality in our education. Before we berate these people, watch. I want you to get into this plethora that we find here to get the profile of those young ones working with him. They are scientists. They are these technologists, but they know what they are doing. They uncovered so many things, and I think we should have a thing like that. So I believe that where I said, we are like a giant in the sun. Where will development flow? And I said that when our universities are only producing young engineers that are helping the Trump administration to disrupt the very corrupt bureaucracies of the United States through the independent Department of Government, are the globalists and public enemies don't want to see in the United States. Again, where are our leaders at all levels, including the state and national assemblies, at this crucial time? See, when we talk about our leaders, we have the most important institution, and I am quoting authorities. The most important institution in the democracy is the National Assembly. And you see so many professors that have done studies on that because they are the ones that make the laws from which policies flow. They are the ones who have overseen funding tolerable in this place. And that is why I'm calling on them at all levels. What are our leaders at all levels, including the states and national assemblies at this level? What are they doing? What are our leaders and representatives concerned about? Why are they concerned about only the next election without caring a hoot about the next generation of leaders who are supposed to be products of our universities? Are the suffering, malnourished, and ill-equipped students of today not going to be the leaders of tomorrow? How many of the more than 200 million people will have the resources to send their children to good schools abroad, so-called good schools abroad, as our leaders are apparently doing? Are our leaders aware that most of our university lecturers in science and technology schools are relocating abroad in search of greener pastures? Does the education minister tell the president and some labor ministries arrogant negotiators with ASU members that most serious nations, especially some in Nordic countries, pay teachers better than other public officers because they believe that only satisfied teachers can produce better graduates? You see, sometimes when they negotiate, we hear a labor minister saying, let the doctors go. We have enough to replace them. Is it true? Is it we ask? Concerned about the fact that the education reform has already written a classic on this development titled Radical